What's going on, everybody?
Yo, we're Embrace the Globe 21.
Yes, we are.
My name's Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
And we've got our friend Felicia from Germany back.
Hey.
And we're checking out 20 German words Americans use all the time and their real meaning.
Interesting.
I can only think of one that's potentially German.
Which-
Smorgasbord? No, that's Swedish. Sorry, that's Swedish.
Oh.
Because I remember the Swedish chef from Muppets uses that all the time.
Yeah.
So
I would go with kindergarten.
Kindergarten, yes. That's probably it.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, garden, isn't that, garden would be the garden or to guard, and kinder is obviously kids.
I think it's garden, and because like beer garden, it's another thing.
That's a garten. That's another garden.
Garten.
Right? So yes, child garden. Sweet.
Something like that. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
You have definitely used these words before in English, maybe even on a daily basis, but did you know that they're actually German?
Yes, we know she changed her channel name. Save your comments.
It's redacted.
Yes.
Redacted by the CIA. I got you. Gotcha.
Hallo, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I have been living in Cincinnati, Ohio off and on since 2016. So a few weeks ago, I made a video about 20 English words that we use in German, and a lot of them actually have a completely different meaning in German than they do in English, like old-timer, just to give one example, which refers to an old person in English, but to German speakers, an old-timer is a vintage car. Check out the video to find out about the other 19 English words that we use differently in German. But today I'll talk about the opposite basically, so about German words that are used in English. There aren't nearly as many German words in English as there are English words in German, but there are actually more than you would think. And a lot of them are words that people use all the time, but they don't really know that it's a German word. And even I wasn't really aware of how many German words are used in English. So for me, it was super surprising every time I first heard someone use one of those words. Like, they're just saying something in English and suddenly I'm like, wait, what? You just spoke German? So for today's video, I made a list of 20 German words that are used in English, and I just picked the ones that are either used a lot or that I just thought were funny or interesting. But before we start with the list, I'd like to introduce today's sponsor, Skillshare, which is an online learning community that offers thousands of classes for creative and curious people for your creativity. And now, here are 20 German words that are used in English.
There you go. Right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
Let's start with one of the most known ones, and that is kindergarten. In German, we pronounce it Kindergarten, and it literally means children's garden. And even though the word is used in a very similar way in the two languages, it's not 100% the same. In Germany, kindergarten isn't part of the school system, but it's more like a daycare. Kids can go there from the age of 3 up until they start first grade, but it's not mandatory for parents to send their kids to kindergarten, and there is no mandatory curriculum either. Some kids may practice math and writing in kindergarten, but it's not a class setting, and the focus is usually more on playing and activities like doing crafts, singing together, going on field trips and those kind of things, while in the US, kindergarten is the year before first grade and it's part of the school system. That's why it's also called K to 12, kindergarten to 12th grade. So the kindergartens usually belong to a school and are a little more focused on academics. So same word but different meaning in Germany and the US. And what I find funny is that the German concept of kindergarten is what Americans also call preschool sometimes, while Vorschule, the literal translation for preschool in German, basically stands for the American concept of kindergarten. So it's somewhat switched. Some German kindergartens do offer a Vorschule the year before first grade to prepare the kids a little academically.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Okay.
Kindergarten
Is like
we do have preschool in the States, and I guess for some reason I just thought that those were interchangeable, preschool, kindergarten, but no, that's
Kindergarten,
Like,
yeah, no, kindergarten is part of the curriculum. Like
right.
Alexander is about to go to kindergarten.
Yeah. And
And before that, I guess you could say but it's not even preschool. This is like daycare.
right.
Daycare is not part of the system.
Yeah.
Preschool is you're still in the system.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
interesting.
So kindergarten over in Germany, that's just daycare.
It's like, yeah, it's a camp.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Oh, gesundheit. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Here we go.
I actually had no clue that Americans used this German word before I came here, and the first time I heard it, it sounded so funny to me. Gesundheit is what we say for bless you in German, and Americans seem to use it that way too. Especially among younger people, I found that they usually use it in a more funny way, but it can also be just used with a normal tone. The word itself actually just means health in German, so whenever someone sneezes, we wish them health.
I mean, I'll say bless you most of the time, and I mean, I don't really remember too many times saying gesundheit, except in a funny way.
I've never said that gesundheit. That's bless you. It's
Yeah.
it just flows easier.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: how many times can somebody sneeze before you stop saying bless you to them?
3.
3?
After 3, it's like the strike method. If I say bless you like 3 times in a row, the next one gets you a fuck off. Like stop.
Gotta get that shit together, man.
Yeah, put yourself together or die. Stop. Like, I blessed you 3 times. Fucking die or get better. I'm not saying it again.
Oh my god, I can't take you anywhere.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't have time to be blessing people all the time. Jesus.
Yeah,
I have things to do.
right.
I'm not the fucking Pope. I'm not gonna like bless you, and then I'm done. You've used all your blessings today. You get 3 max.
Yeah. You're gonna go kaput if you do any more.
Kaput. Yeah, I didn't know that was German.
Just like Gesundheit, I didn't know that this word was used in English before I moved to the US. We spell it with 2 T's in Germany, but we pronounce it the same way, kaput. And it basically has the same meaning in both languages. It means broken, damaged, or destroyed, as in my phone is kaputt, mein Handy ist kaputt. Or it can also mean exhausted, as in I went hiking for 8 hours today and I'm so kaputt. Ich bin heute 8 Stunden gewandert, ich bin total kaputt. And just like in German, where we say etwas geht kaputt, you also say something goes kaputt in English.
Yeah, I've said kaput a couple of times.
Yeah, and never good circumstances.
No.
Usually dealing with electronics. That's normal verbiage.
Yeah, I know you've definitely said that to me a couple of times.
Yeah. Something's kaput. Yep.
Doppelganger.
Another one which I love hearing in English is doppelganger, especially because it seems kind of funny to me that you would use a rather long German word that even has an umlaut. I mean, okay, in English it's usually written with just an A, but people could also just say look-alike or double in English. Why use doppelganger? Anyway, I think it's fun, and I think I first found out about this when I watched the American show How I Met Your Mother in English as a teenager, because that's like a whole theme on that show to find all the main characters' doppelgangers.
Yeah, like we've seen throughout this whole thing that we've been doing, ETG and ETS, we've seen every doppelganger under the radar, like rainbow. Sorry, it's early.
Radar, dude. Trademarked.
Radar, rainbow, right. Anyway, I've seen Jack Black, Q from Impractical Jokers.
I got Sal on my side.
Yeah, and Hurley from Lost. I've gotten that as well.
Hurley. Yep. Yeah, man. It's I would use doppelganger if someone is like a copy and paste image. like one of those deep fakes, like that. Like that's, to me, that's like doppelganger shit. A double, I'm not looking for a carbon copy, you know, like I'm not looking for an exact replica. But if you say, hey, look, I found your doppelganger, I'm expecting it to look 98% like you.
Right.
You know,
And most of the time when people say, hey, I found your doppelganger, it's not it.
No,
100%
but
not
hey,
it.
it's all right. It's all right. I just find out, like, I find that doppelganger is more of a copy than, let's say, a double. I wouldn't say I found your double. I would say, hey man, I found your doppelganger.
Yeah. Or I found your look-alike. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look-alike is probably
Yeah.
one I would use. But yeah. All right. Stein.
Let's see.
This one I just recently used in my video on alcohol culture in Germany and the US. And I have to say that it still feels kind of weird to me every time I use this word in English, or even when I just hear it, because it actually has a completely different meaning in German. Beer stein, or just stein in English, refers to a beer mug, traditionally made out of stoneware, but it can also refer to the more modern glass mugs, while in German, Stein means stone, and the beer mug is called Bierkrug. Some of my German viewers actually commented on my alcohol video and told me that in some parts of Rheinland-Pfalz, in the western part of Germany, people also use the word Stein when they refer to a liter of something. So they would say, ein Stein Bier bitte, 1 liter of beer please. It seems to be a regional thing though. I had never heard about this before, and I'm curious if there is any connection to the English use of the word, but I couldn't really find anything about this, so let me know if you know more about it.
That it would depend on who migrated here.
Yeah.
It would depend on where a lot of them came from. Like if you had a lot of let's say brewers that came to the US from that part of Germany where they used Stein and they set up their breweries around, you know, and their like pubs or their bars, then they would implement that Stein. You know, they would have that like on hand. That's a liter of beer. That's a stein, a beer stein.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially from that particular region that Feli was talking about there.
Yeah. So that's all. I would say that's all like who came here. Like that's, and I feel like whoever got here first, they kind of set the course. You know, it's just, it's like that one, the pizza capital of the world in Italy, right? Right. That's Naples. That's not all of Italy. So it's like an Italian coming over from a different region. It's like, what the fuck? Why is there so much pizza? You know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't get it. Well, they're probably the first ones that migrated over and set that shit up.
Yeah. Whoever got here from Germany first, like this thing you're holding, that's a stein.
Yeah.
Not this. This is a Yeti, but this, you get what I'm saying. Spiel.
The next one is Spiel, and even though this has a different meaning than the word does in German, I really like the English meaning because we don't really have a German equivalent for it. In English, Spiel is a kind of speech, especially one that is long and spoken quickly and is intended to persuade the person listening about something. So this is often used in sales situations, and for example, you could say something like, oh, they gave me the whole spiel about why their university is the best in the country. In German, Spiel, capitalized, simply means game, and spielen means to play.
Almost kind of similar, because it's kind of a game to be selling something with the spiel that you're presenting.
Yeah, it's to play. It could be, not. I could see that. I could see how some people would be like, okay, this is the game, you know, and hear me out on this. So okay, I got that. Stool.
What?
This one is not exactly a loan word from the German language, but it does have Germanic origins, and I included it in this list because I personally think that it sounds exactly like the German word Stuhl. But it's actually a so-called false friend because it has a different meaning in the two languages. Stuhl in German is a chair, while Stuhl in English is what we call Hocker in German. Kind of similar, but not quite the same thing.
That's the same thing. That's close enough.
It's something you sit on.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. I'll give you stool.
Dachshund?
Dachshund.
Dachshund.
Right?
Dachshund. When Americans first used this word with me, I had no clue what they were talking about because I wasn't familiar with the word, and I also couldn't tell that it was supposed to be a German word with the English pronunciation, but now I know that Dachshund can be used in German as well, but it's actually more common to call the dogs Dackel in German. Literally, this compound word consists of Dachs, badger, and Hund, dog. A badger dog, basically. And this is because the dogs were traditionally supposed to crawl into burrows and look for badgers.
Wiener.
In English, this can also be used to describe a dachshund, Wiener dog, but it can also refer to just a Wiener sausage, or it's also often used instead of penis. In German, we say Wiener. The German W is pronounced like an English V, and it usually refers to the sausage. Wiener Würstchen would be the long version. It can also refer to a Wiener Schnitzel, which is also something to eat, or it can simply be used for a person from the Austrian city of Vienna, which is Wien in German.
Huh.
Wiener. I'm sorry.
The only time I use that is to describe the dogs. Wiener dogs.
Wiener dog. Yeah.
I'm not going to be like dachshund. No. It's a wiener dog.
Yeah, that's a wiener dog. And I don't even use the term wiener when it comes to describing hot dog or a sausage or
it's
number one.
Yeah, me neither. What the hell? I'm not 5, you know? Like, yeah. I'm not using that word. I've found other words. Thank God.
Exactly. Shoot.
Wanderlust. This is kind of an old-fashioned German word that we pronounce wanderlust, and it's literally the desire to wander, so it means you want to travel. The word was used a lot in the literature of the Romantic era, but you can also call this Reiselust or Fernweh in German, which the last one is also an interesting word because it's kind of like the opposite of Heimweh, which is homesickness. So Fernweh pretty much means far sickness.
Yeah, wanderlust. I've used that, like just my desire to get out of my small North Carolina town.
It's the lust to wander.
Yeah, exactly. Angst. How about that?
Angst.
This one is very similar to the German one, but it's not 100% the same. Angst, capitalized in German and with the German A, basically just means fear. And angst in English is also related to fear, but it describes a broader feeling of anxiety and apprehension. It's often used in connection with teenagers. Teenage angst is what a lot of young people experience throughout puberty, and you can also say you're feeling angsty in English. So in English, it describes more of a general feeling, whereas in German, Angst haben means to be scared of something, and that's usually something a little more specific, like you're scared of the spider. The English meaning of Angst doesn't have a good translation in German, but it could be translated with something like Existenzangst or innere Unruhe or Angstzustände.
Yeah, like more in America, angst, it's more like my body's changed and I don't know how to understand it. I'm trying to figure out who I am.
I would totally that's like teenage angst. That's the only time I would ever use angst. Ever. Is describing like teenagers, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've never used angst in a sentence solo. Or to describe something. Like I have this feeling of angst has never left my mouth until right now. So like I don't use it. It's not in my quiver of words that I use.
Yeah, me neither. Kitsch.
Like kitchen? Kitsch?
Kitsch is a concept that's really hard to explain actually, but according to the dictionary, it describes art, decorative objects, or design considered by many people to be ugly, without style, or false, but enjoyed by many other people, often because they are funny. So you could say, his home is full of 1950s kitsch. It means the same thing in German and in English, and it's also pronounced the same. There's also the English adjective kitschy, which is kitschig in German.
So it's basically like tacky.
Yeah, tacky.
Yeah, like my background could be kitsch or
mine.
That.
You know what I mean? It all is whatever that is. Whatever it is. It's too early to pull words. I'm already trying to pull words, and I have this new German words in my head. So now it's like, yeah, kitsch. I don't think I've ever used that ever. I didn't know that word existed. Now I'm about to freaking own my wife in Scrabble. Kitsch. I can have that. I'm there for it. There's some high value letters in that one.
I just think that might describe like someone that puts a live, laugh, love thing up on their wall.
Oh, yeah.
That's what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Blitzkrieg. This is a military term and describes a strategy of warfare that includes short and fast attacks. The term is often used in connection with World War II, but it actually had been used way before that. We pronounce it Blitzkrieg in German, and it literally translates to lightning war, because Blitz is lightning and Krieg is war. It's used the same way in both languages, and they even adapted the word Blitz as a tactic in American football.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think about that Ramones song, Blitzkrieg Bop.
Yeah.
Probably describing that.
And blitz is just supposed to be a fast attack on the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that I got that. I'll allow it, America. Yep. Schadenfreude.
I have no idea.
Schadenfreude.
No idea.
I obviously use this word all the time.
Yeah.
This seems to be a very popular word in the US. I've been asked about this so many times, and what makes it so special is that this concept doesn't even really exist in the English language, which is why there isn't an English word to describe it, which is probably quite a strong statement about the German culture. Schadenfreude consists of Schaden, which means damage or harm, and Freude, which means joy. So this is the joy that you feel when someone else gets harmed or fails. So not very nice.
So it's like watching a compilation on YouTube or TikTok of fails.
Got it. Got it. Okay. That's that term that you feel. That's how you're feeling.
Yeah, that's it's always funny when it happens to somebody else.
Got it.
That concept. Yeah. Foosball.
All sports fans should know this one. Foosball in German means soccer, or football in British English. Foosball in English refers to the bar game, which we usually call Kicker, or Tischfußball in German.
I like foosball, and I'm gonna keep on playing it.
Foosball is the devil. But no, you haven't even seen Waterboy. Damn it! I'm done using my movie references, man.
I just assumed I didn't see it, even though I knew the quotes.
Yeah, still that's a very quotable movie. Oh, listen. This next one, I love this one. I've used this one at least like 2 or 3 times.
Zeitgeist.
Awesome name.
This is another concept that doesn't have its own English translation, just like Schadenfreude, and therefore the German word is used in English and some other languages too. Americans usually say Zeitgeist. In German we pronounce it Zeitgeist, And this consists of the word Zeit, which means time, and Geist, which means spirit. So Zeitgeist is the spirit of the time, which describes what's going on culturally, religiously, and intellectually during a certain time period. Woodstock was part of the 1960s Zeitgeist, for example. And in English, they even made it an adjective, which we don't even have in German, Zeitgeisty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now here's a question for people watching. Is Geist like spirit and or inclusive to ghost? Because remember you have Poltergeist too. Geist, is that like where Geist is synonymous to ghost as well? Is it interchangeable? That's what I want to know. It's just like time spiriting, right? Spirit of time.
Yeah.
So it could be anyway, that's a question I had for everyone out there.
Y'all let us know.
Yep.
Schnaps.
Schnaps. This one I also mentioned in my video on alcohol culture. In German, we spell it like this and say Schnaps, and it means hard liquor. In English, it's mostly used as part of the name of certain liquors like peppermint schnapps or peach schnapps.
Yeah. Those are schnapps is very dangerous in America because it goes down so easy. Peach schnapps, peppermint schnapps. Yeah. But I guess in German, it's just every single hard liquor.
Oh, got it. So you're just not out there. Give me a schnapps. And then they'll just give you whatever, or you have to be specific with it.
They'll give you whiskey or tequila or something.
No.
Whatever hard liquor they have over there. They're more of a beer place, but I'm sure they have more than just beer.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would pray so, but yes.
Yeah. Wunderkind.
Wunderkind in English, wunderkind in German, and this literally translates to miracle child. Wunder is miracle, kind is child. So it describes a person that is very clever or talented and becomes successful at a young age. One of the most common examples for a wunderkind is Mozart.
Never heard of that. Never heard that term.
No.
Used.
I mean, Wonder Kid. You know,
like Wonder
Kid, like a shitty superhero. You know, like I've maybe heard that. Or what would you call that? What would be the closest you would say?
Gifted child,
savant, gifted child, something like that.
Yeah.
Never one. I've never heard that ever.
Yeah, nah, I haven't either. Here's your answer.
Here's the answer. Cool, man.
There you go.
Poltergeist. This looks a little bit similar to Zeitgeist. Poltern means to clatter, and Geist means ghost or spirit, and this particularly describes a ghost that makes noises in the house and moves objects. Whether you believe in that or not is a different story.
There you go. There's your answer.
So it is. Geist is synonymous with those two things.
Yeah.
So the context before the Geist defines the kind of Geist you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it.
There you go.
Schmutz.
And last but not least, the final word on my list is schmutz. This one is pronounced and used the same way in both languages, and it means dirt. And schmutzy in English or schmutzig in German means dirty. So this was
all right. I've heard that used before. Like
on Seinfeld.
Yeah, definitely on Seinfeld, and like the more north you go, you hear this more. Schmutz.
Yeah.
To describe someone that's dirty or has done someone dirty, you know.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot. Where did I hear that? You know where I heard it? I think it's Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum's father on Independence Day. Used that a lot. Long time ago. The Will Smith alien movie, guys.
I knew that one.
No, I know. But I think I don't know, man. That's interesting. Schmutz is German. Cool. I mean, it kind of sounds like it now that I take a step back and listen. But yeah, all right, schmutz.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more in here.
Was was my list of 20 German words that are used in English. And there are many, many more, of course, especially regarding food, like pretzel, bratwurst, or Hefeweizen, just to name a few examples.
Yes, pretzel, bratwurst. Bratwurst, by the way, that's my favorite, by the way.
Is it Hefeweizen a beer?
It is. It's a German
lager. Got it.
Okay. Hey, Feli, another great video. Thank you for that. It definitely was. I recognized 18 out of the 20 words here.
I'll go there with you. I recognize them. I don't think I've ever used them all, though. Kindergarten for sure. Daily, maybe. But the other ones, not really. I know of them. I wouldn't be like, what was that you just said? I wouldn't be like, how dare you switch to German in the middle of talking to me? But no, I was like, oh, fair enough. That makes sense. They're rooted. You don't, isn't our language just a bastardization of many different languages?
Definitely American English. It's most of the people from our main channel would say that our version of English is a bastardization of English. So
yeah, I guess that's true too. But I feel like we've been influenced by so many different peoples here in the U.S. And I would love to know if we have any French words that we use. No, we had to have been influenced by French and Spanish too. I bet because they were here as well in the early days. So,
y'all let us know down below if you want to see that and maybe some other German words that you've heard in English or vice versa. That has to be one of them, by the way.
That's Latin, isn't it?
Latin, vice versa. It has to be. See, we're doing it already.
What am I? I don't even know who I am right now, man. Anyway, cool, man. That was awesome. Feli did a great job.
Yep.
She always does. But
y'all let us know where to go next with this and others. All right.
Yep.
And thanks for watching. Somewhere around you can subscribe and watch another video. Wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your butt, blow your nose, embrace the globe.
Unplug and do something legendary, guys.
See y'all next time.
Later.
Fellas, we can be that mistake. Let's do this.